What's up guys, Colby Brock, welcome back to my channel. Hope you guys have been doing well. How have you been doing?
Do you say the exact same thing every time you do a YouTube video?
So yesterday on my secret account that nobody knows about because it's a secret, I asked everybody to share your guys' paranormal experiences and I got a lot of responses back. 4,000 comments, but I also told them to DM me, so I probably have like
so this is a ginormous secret account. 4,000 people
Nobody knows
know
about this account.
Secret.
So with that being said, let's just hop into it. So Sara Cummings, it's a nice name. One time I recorded myself singing and you could clearly hear another voice in the video harmonizing with me. I was alone. My mom listened to it and said, that sounds like my mom's voice. Whoa!
So your grandma was harmonizing with you while you sang. You sang so angelically that other angels came down to sing with you.
Whoa, Colby says, I always feel like someone's watching me, but when I turn around, it's just my dog staring into my soul.
So that's not paranormal at all. That's just a creepy dog staring down the back of your neck.
Apparently. You know what's weird about this though is sometimes I have that paranoia too, where I'm just like chilling, doing my own thing, and I can feel something.
You guys can feel
me.
Eyes, right? Like if someone's like staring at you, you know when someone's staring at you.
We should do, I'm sure there's been experiments done of this before, but we should do an experiment where we just like stare at you.
Alright, you look that way. I'm gonna either stare at you or I'm gonna stare somewhere else.
But you can't talk because I can hear you.
Am I staring at you right now?
Yes. Brother Faith says, in 2012, my uncle passed, and after he passed, there was one day where I was sitting in my parents' room on their computer. Then I went downstairs to get a drink, and once I reached the top of the stairs, I saw my uncle sitting in the computer chair. That's terrifying.
A deceased uncle?
Yeah, he passed.
You saw him in the chair. Oh my god, that's horrible.
Wow, that's nuts.
Would you try to talk to your deceased uncle if you saw them in the chair?
That's a good question.
Or would
you
you
be scared?
Run?
Yeah, I feel like I would be scared at first, obviously, but then I don't know, like if like, you know, my grandma passed away and like she just walked through the door, it'd be kind of like, come here grandma. Mac MG, my house is 100% haunted. Whenever I lay in bed, I can see my hallway through my mirror, and every night when I'm on my phone or watching a movie, I see a boy, maybe 10, pop his head from the 10 boys or a 10-year-old boy?
Probably 10 different boys.
10-year-old boy. Pop his head into the hallway and look into my room, but I can only see it from my mirror. And what's crazy is, and especially with all the research we've done in the past, like mirrors are like the portals or whatever, and apparently you can only see like superstition, supernatural shit in mirrors sometimes. So that's crazy story, wow.
Or this is his excuse for hiding little boys in his house. There might be just children running around in your house, you don't know. Oh god.
J Rosales XO says, when I was younger, I kept telling my mom to tell the little girl with the red hair I don't want to play anymore. Like a good parent, my mom would just repeat me out loud to make me feel better. This continued for a really long time. Eventually, I guess it made the little girl mad and I woke up with scratches from my shoulder down my arm. We finally moved and my mom looked it up and it used to be a gas station with an apartment on top. It caught fire and a little girl with red hair passed away in the fire.
What?
That's nuts. That's a crazy story.
That's an amazing story.
Whoa. Colby's Rings says, when I was like 9, I lived in the house that's in the back of mine and I seen who I thought was my brother. Turns out that he wasn't even home that day. It was literally just me and my mom. He was out with friends and my mom had ministers come over to cleanse the house the next day because she swears it was a demon to this day. Laugh my fucking ass off.
Oh my god, so it was that serious? They hired a freaking church minister to come out?
Jeez, so I don't know, would you ever go to that extreme of like, if you maybe thought you saw something, like you would like be like, I need to hire ministers tomorrow.
We did in our last house, remember?
Or didn't Elton do that?
Elton hired ministers to come to our house.
Elton did,
and we freaking believed him. It was a
didn't.
prank. You didn't believe it?
No, watch the video.
Low-key, like
I could tell because he was holding like a giant Bible that was like this big and it said like Holy Bible.
Ain't nobody freaking reading that thing. Come on.
What? Golbach's Nips says, when I was younger, we lived in this old Victorian house. It was haunted by a female spirit from that time period. Oh wait, from that time period? I don't know why I read it like that.
Period.
I remember what she looked like. She was tall and skinny, long blonde wavy hair, and she wore a dress. She didn't do harm or anything to scare us. All she did was appear and pet our dog and cat. You could see the fur on them like someone was petting them.
No way.
That's crazy.
That would be
holy
freaky.
Wait, so would you fear that?
I was gonna say, you basically just got a nanny.
That's what I'm saying. If I had
why-
a ghost that would just like pick up after me, I
Pick
don't know
up
if I
and
would
pet
be-
your dogs. You know,
Yeah.
you could pay the ghost to take them on a walk or something. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, I don't think I'd be like too upset with that. Low-key Golbach _ says, one time I was home alone for a few minutes and I swear I heard someone say my name. I'm curious, so I go check around the house and see shadow in the kitchen and it disappeared after I blinked. The crazy thing is my great had unfortunately passed away the day before, probably great-grandpa. So I think it was a sign. That's terrifying. Like, I feel like if you passed away and then came and like haunted me as yourself, it'd be like less scary than like a grandma or like a 6-year-old little girl.
But think about it, a lot of people die of old age, not in their like 20s or whatever. So like the majority of ghosts would be old, right?
True, or unless you think you can like come back as
Yeah, so
a younger
is your
version of
spirit
yourself.
the 20-year-old version of yourself, or is the spirit the 80-year-old version of yourself?
Whoa, that's a good question. A lot of these stories too are when people are younger. Two things I can say about that. One, I feel like because you had just been born 10 years ago, you might have more powers with the supernatural. Does that make sense? Like more kids like see, like there's so many kids that like know or have stories of knowing who they were in like a past life or like what they were reincarnated as.
Yeah.
Have you heard of that?
I heard a lot of young people, just the reason for it is because they have more open mind. Like when you are learned in the same education system and you're taught like this is exactly how you need to think, you're less open-minded for like the spiritual stuff, or if you were, you know, reincarnated. But like back in the day, you don't know any better, so you're open to seeing, oh yeah, that shadow could be a man that I could talk to, as opposed to now when we see a shadow, we're like,
There's no way.
yeah, whatever, that ain't real.
But see, then the second thing I was gonna say is, or is it because they're just young?
And they just don't know any better.
And they just don't know, and they're just like imaginary. You know what I'm saying?
They don't have the logical sense to say, oh, that's that.
So _Jess Mae says, I've had a few, but the one that really shook me and made me believe was one day at school, I went to the bathroom during English and I noticed the lights flickering. I thought nothing of it, just thought it was probably a bulb dying or something. So I did my thing, and when I was about to come out of the stall, the lights went out with a bang. I jumped, but I just thought the fuse had blown or something. I went out, and as I was washing my hands, I thought I saw something in the mirror. So I looked up into the mirror and I saw my granddad standing behind me with his hand on my shoulder. I screamed and turned around and there was nothing there. Then the lights turned back on. I ran out of there and back to class, and I ended up having to go home because I kept shaking. My granddad has been dead at almost 5 years at that point. I was 11. Goes to my point I was just saying, like a young girl again, and like, I believe her.
I can't believe it too.
I feel like that's like why would you lie about that?
Like when
right?
you see your grandpa, you know it's your grandpa. It's not like you see like this outline and you're like, yep, that's my grandpa. That could be anybody.
Okay, well, I hope you look back at that experience and you're like, wow, that was cool, and maybe he was just showing me or like saying hi or whatever instead of like traumatizing thing. I don't know if I'd be traumatized or not, to be honest.
Yeah, if you couldn't talk English to the person you're coming back to visit, I think that'd just kind of be creepy. Like if I came back to visit you, but I couldn't say anything, so I'm just like moving things around in your bedroom, I think that's kind of creepy.
Yeah,
Would you want to do that?
I'd be terrified, but at the same time, I feel like if one of us dies, like I would want you to like come and haunt me.
All right, so let's make a
myself
deal. Let's say either one of us die in the next, foreseeable future before the other person. What's our sign?
Our sign. What about we just play like a specific song on like, I don't know if that's possible.
You just
can, like,
hear a
scroll through
screamo
something.
song. Comment down below what our sign should be.
Let us know what our signs should be to each other. Parfait.Brock says, so this is about my sister actually. When we were little, she would always say that these two men would visit her every night. She would always say one of them had a top hat on. She said that they told her to do things like smash our plates and blame it on me, or otherwise they would burn our house down. My mom and dad told me that most nights they could hear the instruments in my sister's room go off even though it wasn't my sister playing them. In the end, my mom and dad called someone to come in and they caught all this paranormal activity. We ended up moving houses. Whoa!
Wow! So that got super serious.
Damn! See, I've heard like demonic things too, not trying to bring it religiously again, but like demonic things are supposed to tempt you not only to like stray away from like God and stuff, but to like just do evil in like your day-to-day life. So what if like a demon spirit was like, yo,
Go break that plate over there, bitch.
Okay, so those were like the comments. I'm gonna go through just a few DMs. Colby.brock.simp2. Here's my scariest ghost experience for your video this week. This happened when I was about 8 years old. I was at my cousin's house on Christmas in the living room. We just finished opening presents, and as I'm playing with my new toys, the lights start flickering. And I mean like on, off for a while, then back on. My grandmother looks at my younger cousin and says, "Don't worry, hon, it's only mommy." My cousin's, again, younger cousin, which is crazy. My cousin's, who is my aunt's, passed away when I was 7. So I say, "Hi, Aunt Jen," and the lights start flickering again, on, off, on, off. My dad looks at me shocked and goes, "Maybe it's just the weather." So we look outside and all we see is snow on the ground. There's no storm or anything. So I like to think my Aunt Jen spent Christmas with me and my family that year. Yes, my story wasn't really scary, but it's definitely my biggest. See?
Aww.
I think ghosts or spirits can come back and do nice things. Rachel Morg says, "I was home alone and showering when all of a sudden the water," which I always have at the hottest temperature, because if you shower with cold water, you're weak.
What?
Damn. Turned extremely cold. So the water turned extremely cold. And when I turned around to look at the faucet, the handle was turned all the way to the other side at the freezing temp. And I got so spooked, I just out of the shower shampoo and all still in my hair and called my family to see if something happened, and they still don't believe me. That's only one of the creepy paranormal things I've experienced in my house, but it still gets me every time I think about it. That's pretty crazy.
It's kind of hard for you to read.
I know. That wasn't me. I was reading it word for word. Cute. Rachel is just typing this fast.
Do you think that was a water pump mishap, or do you think someone reached in and changed her knobs?
So I've never seen gravity take a knob from here to here. So I would assume it got to
You're playing with the wrong knobs, dude. Come on.
Last one.
Good.
Emma Sharer 3 says, "I don't know if you'll get this, but I saw your post on wanting to share fan ghost stories, so I thought I would share. I've lived in my house in Florida for 4 years and have always gotten weird vibes from my closet. I have my bed set up so that the end is near my closet door. At first, I would just hear noises coming from the wall of my closet. Thought it was squirrels or something. No big deal. Then a few mornings, I've been woken up to a deep man's voice swearing at me or calling me a bitch. Weird, but maybe it was a vivid dream until whatever it was started to get physical. I would feel some pressure on the end of my bed, like someone is sitting on it, and now it's gotten to a point where I can feel a physical, solid hand touch my leg and even grab my ankle. It's weird and scary, but it's never hurt me or scratched me, so I just have to live with it. I told it that if it leaves me alone, I won't make it go. Now it doesn't bug me as much. I'll hear things in the wall and feel the occasional touch on my leg, but that's it. At least it's not calling me a bitch anymore, laughy face."
It sounds like an abusive relationship, not a ghost experience.
Jesus. See, I think that's one of my biggest fears. I don't know about you, but like, if I sleep on my bed, I have to have like a blanket over my feet. Like, who just has their feet laying off like the edge of something? Like, that scares me, dude.
Weird.
Come on, guys, back me up on this shit. That's
I want
scary.
someone walking in your house, please, you little toesies, please.
Oh, I can't do it, dude. So the fact that she said she was getting like grabbed on the ankle.
The
Oh!
weirdest part of that story to me was that she was just like, you know, noises coming from inside my closet. Yeah, probably just the squirrels.
Squirrels.
Do you keep squirrels in your closet?
Well, anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you want me to read more of your scary paranormal experiences, best way you can let me know by leaving a like on this video. If this gets 74 likes, 74,000 likes, I'll do another part because I thought this was fun. I think it's like cool to, you know, have other people be able to talk about this stuff.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sam, for being a part of this. Also, all merch is 25% off, so don't miss out. If you want to go get merch at a discounted price, now's your chance. Go down below. It's going to be the first link in the description. Don't miss out. Do it.
Happy 4th.
And I will see you guys next week. Peace. Oh God.